So today we're going to work on our ruffles. You need, for your ruffles for the dress, you are going to need, let me just show you what the ruffles look like on the dress. So this is just my mock-up, okay, and the ruffles on the back look like this, okay. So you have one which goes all the way around the bottom, like that, all right, and then on the back, because obviously you don't see the front because you've got your apron, you have got one which sits directly on top of that one, and then another one which sits directly on top of that again. All right, so you've got your 3 ruffles for the back. So this is what we are going to do. So the first one we want to pin 4 pieces together, okay. So if you're using the plain fabric, it doesn't matter which way you pin them, but we are going to put French seams in them. So you've got that one pinned. Take your next piece and make sure you get it the right way, okay. So you want to make sure it goes the same way. So that one is going now so that it's laid like that, and this one's going to do the same, okay. So put that one on. So I've just changed to my yellow thread, and I'm just going to come along and I'm going to go along on that 1/4 of an inch and go backwards, and then go all the way to the end. And then do the next one. So we're just going to come across now and we're just going to trim them all back. Exactly the same as we did with the other ones, to about 1/4 of an inch. There we go, one. Okay, so that's all 6 of them. Take them to the iron now and give them a quick press open. So I've just come in now and I'm going to, I press them all, I'm just going to come in now and do the French seam, back stitch. That's that one. So here we are in our long piece. I'm just going to come along. I want all the pieces to go that way, so just keep a continuity to it, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is just to come along, I'll start there on that tiny bit, and just going to fold this in just 1/4 of an inch all the way along like that. We're just going to go all the way around and we're going to go the whole thing. So it's just going to go on and on and on forever, you're going to think to yourself, okay. So I've gone around and I folded that one in and ironed it on 1/4 of an inch, and I folded this side in and I ironed it on 1/4 of an inch, and I went all the way round the whole thing, and I also did my other 2 pieces of the yellow, okay. And then what we are going to do is just to come in on this side and we're going to fold it down 1/2 an inch. It's just going to be just on this side, not on the other side, okay. So come in, fold it down 1/2 an inch and iron across on that 1/2 an inch mark all the way around. Okay, like that. So you go all the way around the whole thing and then whip it around. And on this side, we're going to just come in another 1/4 of an inch. Now this side, if you don't want to do the hem like this, you can use a rolled hem foot. So if you've got a rolled hem foot, you might find that easier to do it if you know how to use it. I always struggle with my rolled hem foot, so I prefer to do it this way. I know it takes much longer doing it this way, but that's it. So you've got that side in at 1/4 of an inch and this side in at 1/2 an inch. So I'm going to go around and do all of that. Then I'm going to go and do exactly the same with my long pieces of the patterned fabric, okay. I will fold it in a quarter of an inch like that, and fold iron it, and then fold that one in at 1/2 inch, okay, and then fold this one in at 1/4 of an inch, and then fold it in again at 1/4 of an inch. But with this piece, what you want to do is make sure that you've got, this is the 1/2 inch side on that, the 1/4 of an inch side there, so that's folded 2 times at 1/4 of an inch. This one is folded at 1/4 and then a 1/2, okay. So when you come to do the other side, this side here, this side, each time it's going to be the inside piece. This one has to be in at a 1/4 and then at a 1/2, like that. These two pieces will be where we are going to gather, and that will be the pieces which will go and be stitched onto the 2 straps of your apron, okay. So here we are at the sewing machine. I've got my yellow thread in. I've got my 1/4 of an inch strip on, it doesn't really matter, but that will help just me to keep this on the stripe piece on this side. So on this side, and I've got my big long piece, we are just going to come in and we are going to stitch this at a 1/4 of an inch all the way round, and this will be the bottom edge of your ruffle, okay. So I'm just going to come in, and I want to get it so that my foot is, my needle is coming as close to this point here. I'm just going to go literally all the way around, do a back stitch, okay, and I'll just move my arm there. So usually, as I say, I'll put it there, okay, and I'm just going to come in from here, keep it on that very edge. There we go. I think probably needed a clap after doing that. That was a long bit. Do a back stitch. Okay, right. And now we're going to go. I'm going to carry on doing all the rest of the pieces because I don't want to move on to my gathering stitch for a minute. So I'm just going to put that to one side and do all the rest of the pieces, which are on my lap here. Okay, so we're doing the 1/4 inch side. Put that one on the 1/4 inch side as well. I'm just going to run up it nice and slow. Back stitch. That's probably a bit too much back stitch. Let's keep going for a minute. And let me just have a look. Oh, I quite like that with the yellow on it. Yeah, I think I might do that with the yellow. Quite like it, so I'm just going to carry on doing that. And a back stitch. Right, so now we're coming to the other pieces now. Now we're going to go on and do some gathering stitches. So make sure you've got plenty of spool in here, okay. You can keep this 1/4 inch foot on if you want to. You can just use your ordinary foot, it doesn't really matter which size foot you put on there. And we're going to come in and we are going to stitch down here right on the edge, but we're going to change our stitches here, and we're going to change them to the biggest stitch I've got, which is a 7 on mine, okay. And then we're just going to come in and we're going to just run the whole length of that with that as close to the edge as I can get it on a 7, okay. So we're going to do that on all of them, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do this. And we're going to take that out and leave a nice long thread. Okay, cut that off, and we're going to, this will come back again, and we will do exactly the same as we've just done, but we're going to put it higher up. Okay, so we're going to put it so that that foot there is sitting right on that edge there. Okay, and we're just going to run all the way along. Don't do a back stitch. Might find it hard to look at that side. It's just you're just looking here. I just popped another spool in. I'm just running around now. I'm just about to start to run around keeping it on this edge of this great big long piece now. So we're just going to come in exactly the same. Don't put a back stitch in it, just run all the way around. So that's all of it done. So now we need to go and find something good to watch on TV or listen to on the radio or put some music on, because this is going to take forever as well. And we're just going to take the 2 back threads from here and we're just going to pull them very gently. And we're going to gather the whole thing along. The ruffle coming and pull it down like that through, like that, until you've got the whole thing gathered. And you should have, it should be nice and tight, very tight like this. That's what you're aiming for at the end, okay? So gather the whole thing in, and it's a nice tight gather all the way along, okay? So just go and sit now quietly, watch TV or something, and just do this. It just goes on and on. So you've got quite a few bits to do, and that's it. That will be the end of this video. You'll have this all gathered up, and I will just put a little clip right at the very end of what it looks like when it's all gathered, okay? So that is the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed working along with me, and I hope that you come along and make the rest of the dress with me. Goodbye.